All right, good morning and welcome back to the New York session 2 for the day. It is 13th of March and it's now about 9:30 a.m. Eastern. And let's get started off with the conventional Euro USD currency. And we'll then go through dollar index, pound, and gold, finally Bitcoin and the Dow Jones index. So the weight now looks to be over as uh, as the euro almost begins the corrective decline that we have been waiting for since so many days now. Let's try and project where the fourth wave could go and end now. As part of the Fibonacci ratios, I think we have done the correct boundary, and the Fibonacci ratios are suggesting potential 725 zone for a reversal. But I since the trend is so firmly on the upside, it's not a bad idea. In fact a good idea to add 23% retracement as well. You know, that is also the lower degree wave 4. So it's very close to the 23% now, and 810 it is showing, and we are trading around about 37 now. So ideally, after so many sessions, for the first time, we can uh, conclude with a certain amount of confidence that those who have been sitting on the sidelines for quite a few days now uh, should be should be initiating long positions as of now around 1.0840, and also look to add further if prices decline toward the 725 735 zone. All right. Because you never know, wave fourth could be very shallow at 23%, and it could resume from here itself, higher from here itself. But that's the reason we are saying please take into two parts, divide it into two parts, partial now and remaining around the 720 mark. All right, that I think that could be the RSI is still around 47, so don't be surprised if it drifts down lower further to 40, and prices drifting down lower to 750 zone. But you know what? It's the trend is firmly on the north side, and it is okay to buy a bit early. It's not even 100 points now. Even if it's 100 points, it doesn't really matter. And remaining you can buy around 750. So and the stop loss would go around 350. All right, the 28th of February lows. So 350 would be the potential, would be the exact stop. 750, 850 would be the two entries, and 1.11 would be the target. And it's not going to be stopping at 1.11. Actually, it's going to go towards 1.12, 1.14, and higher as well. All right, so that is the story as we move into the New York session for 13th of March in Euro USD. I think the pullback is now underway, and our wait could be completely over. I think maybe tomorrow or maybe a couple of days. I think by Friday. I think tomorrow we should get a bottom. Ideally, tomorrow being 14th, end of the week, and 15th, 16th, it's coming. 17th, it again starts rallying and it goes above 1100, running about 400 points or 500 points. Actually, I'm counting upon 1.1275 over there. All right. So that is the story in the euro. Let us pick up the dollar index now. I don't know if the dollar index is equally pulling back, or because it was quite a bit shallow when we saw it the last time. All right, it looks to be pulling back now, and it could be, you know, reaching out towards 104.90. But did you see that rally or that pullback is so tentative, and this is what happens when we are dealing with corrective waves. They're not really committed towards the directional push. Right now, the RSI is trading around 53. Possibly it goes to 60 and 65, and and then prices would also reach possibly 104.90 and reverses from there, right? So let's see how the price action is shaping up. But you know what? Those who have been trading have been sitting on the sidelines. It's a good opportunity now. We are close to 104, so less than 100 points lower from the 38.2 retracement. And if I pull out the 23.6, sorry, I think I took the wrong one. The 23.6 is just about 104.30. So please be prepared for price action to touch. So 104.30 and 104.90. You can sell partial now, remaining around 104.90. The stop loss goes around 108. Let's stay above that 28 February highs. All right. And what about the targets then? The Fibonacci targets are already pointing towards 101.50, but that is just the third wave of the minute degree. Remember, please, there is minute wave 4 and minute wave 5 to be completed, for minute wave 3 to be completed, possibly, and then minute wave 4 and then minute wave 5. So we've got a, a good amount of path to be covered on the south side. So be patient. Actually, it's not only 101.57, could be going down towards 99 and 97 and 95 going further. I think bears are firmly in control now, and there's no point in exiting the trades earlier once we get in on the short side. Partial now and remaining around 104.90, 105. All right. So that's the story as we move into the New York session for the dollar index. I think for the first time after several days, we are seeing a pullback, and I would not be surprised if this pullback could continue at least for another 2 days or so. Right? Okay, let's get started off with I think GBP USD now. I mean, it's always the most shallowest pair in when it comes to retracement. It doesn't give up. It doesn't give up at all, as if it wants to complete its target 1.32 in a rush. But GBP USD has been so resilient, and I was talking about the same thing last several sessions. Look at that corrective decline. I mean, that corrective decline around the 28th Feb, it was nothing actually. All right, it was a very small and very shallow corrective decline, unlike the euros and the dollar indexes. But this is what it is, and so if we look at the pound right now, I mean the wait is actually over, and can take in the partial longs at least, and remaining around the 23%. Let me bring out that ratio again. We can go long around the 23.6 retracement, right? And it's not a bad idea at all to go long at that price. But also the partially previous wave for of one lesser degree is being seen there. So it's actually in fact a good place to initiate long positions. So partial now and partial around the 28.80, and we should be good on the rally after that. I think 32, 32, 34 should be the potential targets that we should keep in our minds. And the stop loss in pound at least 2500, just below that 2568 lows. So if you keep it around 2500, it's not a bad idea at all. It's technically correct. We would be below the 28th of February lows, so technically it is absolutely correct. All right. And so Euro USD partial longs initiated, remaining around 1.0750. Dollar index partial shorts initiated, remaining around 104.90, and pound partial longs initiated and remaining around 28.80 or so, right? And we should be good on the north side thereafter. Okay, so let's go back to gold. I think gold is the only one which is going against us, and it has been going against us for quite a while now. It's again trading around the recent highs and recent tops. Who knows if it's wanting to make an expanded flat structure now, because it doesn't look like uh, giving up that easily. Let's try and see. Let's try and see. The bigger picture is still minor wave 5 rally continuing, and minor wave 5 rally towards the 3300 mark. That's the overall larger degree trend into play. Now, the recent structure in gold, if it is a standard flat, there are two options with us now. Either it's a standard flat or it's an expanded flat in the making, because and the third option, of course, we need to be aware that it's also possible that minute degree wave 4 completed around that 2830 lows, and it is quite possible that minute wave 5 is underway. But with the recent development on the other side, doesn't look like we are we are significantly pushing higher towards the minute wave 5 right now. But we cannot rule out a possibility of an expanded flat as well. But even if it's an expanded flat, it would go and take our stop losses out around the 2960 before reversing lower from here. Let me just try and see what the structure looks like. I mean, let me remove this ABC, because that if that is wave 1 and wave 2, that means it's wave 3 in progress of minute wave 5, and it's certainly going to take out our stop loss. But if it is an ABC, then I mean, even if it's an ABC and if it's an expanded flat, okay, then let's try and see how far the price action can go. Wave 2 was an expanded flat as well. So normally it doesn't happen that wave 2 and 4 both are expanded flats. It's not a rule though, it's just a guideline, but normally these guidelines are quite powerful, and we can follow them. Now the only thing that which surprises me is that the 88% retracement has also not been met. Prices have rallied through that as well. So it's more or less clear that gold is wanting to print a potential high or almost test the recent one. It's almost there. I mean, 29.57 was the previous one. We are now around 51, so it's almost there, and it just remains to be seen if it's we need if a reversal needs to come from here, it has to come now to keep the standard correction or standard flat pattern alive. All right, and now we need to see a break below the 2939 mark before we can confirm that gold is reversing for good. At least a break below 2939 needs to happen before bears can actually come back and control strong. Until that happens, I mean, now the gates are open for specific highs about 2960. So please keep your stop loss intact at 2960. We don't want to mess around with the trades without any stop losses. It is always possible that we've identified wrong, that's okay, but we need to at least have the stop losses in place without moving them. And let's see how the price action is now shaping up going forward. All right, but if it is wave 3, then I think prices would not drop below 2888 2880, sorry. All right, okay, that's the story in gold. Maybe we can touch base with the bitcoins now. All right, so Bitcoin is is coming lower towards the 82,000 mark, and you know what? I would not be surprised. Okay, prices can decline even lower, but you know what? If it's an ABC, it can decline towards the 80,000 mark. But since the leading diagonal was complete, possibly, and it looks like the leading diagonal structure completed, even if you buy here partially and remaining around the 79, 80,000, it's a good deal actually because we are looking forward towards 95,000 with a stop around 74,000. All right, so that would not be a bad idea at all to take longs in Bitcoin right now, partial and remaining around the 78, 79 zone with a potential target of 95. 85 is almost met now, so I think we should now target towards 95 levels. But one more thing for those who are joining in for the first time or tuning in for the first time, we got to be very clear about what we are doing right now. It's not a trend trading, it is a counter trend trading that we are proposing right now. The overall trend in Bitcoin might have just turned lower. There we got wave 1, wave 2, and wave 3, wave 4, and 5. That comprises of a minute degree wave 1 complete, and if the minute degree wave 1 is complete, now we are looking for a minute degree wave 2 possibly rallying back towards the 95, 96 zone, which is also the 61.8% mark retracement of the entire drop. And unless we see an impulse rally, I mean 53535 complete, it is difficult to suggest that Bitcoin might be going and printing a new high, new all-time high above 109. All right. So right now we are trying to capture the counter trend, which could take us through the 95 zone from around the 82 mark, 82,000 mark. I think we have kept a limit order already, and maybe it is triggered, or I think it's 78 or 80,000. I don't remember exactly, but we will check out. If there is an opportunity, we will send out a signal immediately to go long in Bitcoin. Otherwise, I think if it's an ABC, then prices would draw back towards the 79, 80,000 mark. All right. So that is the story in Bitcoin, and even Solana. I think Solana might print a new low before it could rally. I don't know if Solana has print an impulse or a leading diagonal. No, sir, it is not a leading diagonal or an impulse. It's possible three waves up. So this structure is sideways. It is not exactly clear. It's not an impulse or motive. I may be correct in guessing that Solana might print one more lower low to complete that five-wave structure before resuming its rally. Selling is also not very safe right now. We are at the lowest price, so better to allow the short positions to materialize if it has to, and then try and build on the long side that we tried and did in Bitcoin yesterday. All right. So next is the Dow Jones. Let's see how the Dow Jones is behaving today, and the drop continues. In fact, it is a bit silent right now, but you never know when it erupts. We've got minute wave 1, minute wave 2, and minute wave 3 going on. Within that, we've got minute wave 1, 2, and then again minute wave 3, 1 of 3, 2 of 3. So if it is 5 down, that could be print as wave 3. And if it is extending, even if that drop is extending, then we don't even have a minute degree wave 3 here. In short, it is no rocket science to believe that Dow Jones has reversed for good and it's a long-term trend reversal. The only thing that we are waiting for is a corrective decline, corrective rally to re-enter on the short side. And I think it should come over as we have seen in the euros and the dollar indexes and pound. We just need to wait patiently for that to begin. All right. So these are the stories as we move into the New York session. Let's bring it a pause here, and we would be back in a while, in a few hours, to touch base and pick up the story in the Tokyo Sydney overlap. Until that time, once again, thank you for tuning in, and take care and God bless, brothers. Goodbye.